Good afternoon, everyone. First thing I'd like to do is remind everybody to take your cell phone out, shut it off. We had several of them go off last week. I'd like to call Eric up front for the indication pledge and four-way test.
I know, and we actually just tested this. I'll just speak loudly, and I think we'll get the adjusted. Welcome, glad everybody's here. Let us rise each morning and strive each day to do only that which brings happiness to joy to others, and avoid doing things that cause others hurt and pain. Let us use our minds and our reason to foster behavior based on the mutuality and reciprocity inherent in human relationships. And let us always respect the dignity and worth of each other. And let us, above all, love one another, not to obtain rewards for ourselves now or hereafter, or to avoid punishment, but rather always to bring each other contentment and peace. So be it. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic and the four-way test.
Thanks, Eric. I'm going to ask Jim to come forward and introduce our visiting Rotarians and our guests.
No visiting Rotarians today, but Susan Bossing has a guest.
Yeah, maybe we have to know, we have to wait out for people to join our club, and so we should join the club.
Scott Puckett has a guest.
I guess today is Andrew Osma, one of my partners at Edward.
And Melinda Stewart has a guest.
My guest today, returning, is Mary Jess, the owner of the Dutch Colonel down on Main Street.
Don Stoller, you have a guest? I don't see. Well, that's it for guests. No visiting Rotarians today.
It's okay, Don. We knew you were stuck in a meeting back in the corner. Upcoming meetings, the 22nd will be the Elkhart County Symphony. The August 29th will be at the Rotary in the evenings at the well field. September 5th, there's no meeting, it's Labor Day. September 12th will be Brianna Dutch Colonel Waffle Company or Dutch Waffle Company. September 19th. Yeah. September 19th will be 5 Star Life. And then we'll have the Elkhart Public Library on September 26th. We do have several new members that are on their 1 week waiting period. We have Lance Mayberry, Amanda Smith, Gene Cruz, Jim Snodgrass, Ryan Hubbard, who is the Salvation Army, and then Celesta, how do you, Celesta Vaughn, and she's being brought in by Susan Bossing. So this starts their 5-day waiting comment period. Anybody have announcements? I will ask you to come forward. I will not also say that this Friday is our boat race. The boat is completed. I have to seal it one more time. Also, if you would make any donations for the fundraising part, it is done online. If anybody needs this, come see me. I have the link where you can just donate off your phone.
Hi, everyone online. Hi, everyone here. Welcome. So I am just reminding everybody, in addition to the boat race, you can come and just hang out and be a Rotarian and be really cool because you're associated with us and the amazing boat that we're going to have. So you guys can come and cheer us on. It's a nice, fun day at the United Way on County Road 17. So please come and just cheer us on. If nothing else, to watch Jameson and I end up at the bottom of a pond covered in duck droppings, if that's the case, but I think we're going to be great. We're gonna float all the way there. So please come and just hang out and be social with us, as well as invite friends to donate, and it's a good family friendly day as well. We have a fifth Monday this month, as he mentioned. Monday, the 29th, from 5:30 to 7:30. We will be at the Wellfield Botanical Gardens. You all should have had an invitation in your email. If not, I can resend those. It is $15 we're asking for, so that will cover tapas, appetizer type things, and beer, wine, and beverages. So that is, thank you. Oh, hey. I was using my outside voice, but now I can talk next. All right, so that's going to happen from 5:30 to 7:30. And feel free to bring family, friends. Just make sure you register them. It is a public event. We're inviting other Rotarians from some of our sister clubs for that. It's a time to gather and be social. We'll have a few of our members that are musicians, just kind of playing music in the background for some ambiance. But it's a nice way to get to know each other without a formal program. So we're excited for lots up and coming.
And as Julie had mentioned, with that fifth Monday, that really will also be our chance to celebrate Taste of the Gardens, which will have happened the very day before. So if you haven't had enough socializing and maybe a glass of wine or beer in the garden the day before, please come and enjoy that Monday night. It'll be a nice, intimate environment. It'll be a lot of fun. And if you would like to take one of these home with you, there are some up here and also right by the door. I left them conveniently. I'll move them so you'll be tripping on them on your way out. If you'd like to help us in promoting this wonderful event that you all have made and created and grown over the years, we really appreciate it. So grab one of these. And I know those of you who have volunteered in the past should have received an email from Jody Papandrea. If you have not, please let me know, and I'm happy to connect you with her. We hope you have Sunday, August 28th on your calendar to help volunteer. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've ordered good weather for the day. I've been about 60% successful on that throughout this year. It's been a little scary. But anyway, thanks for your help. Sunday, August 28th, Taste of the Gardens at Wellfield.
One more quick announcement. You'll see on your table these volunteer forms. We are collecting volunteer hours for our club. So if you are someone who volunteers anywhere in our community, starting July of 2022. So these hours are not for the year to date from January. They're just from our Rotary year, July of 2022. If you could fill those out and drop them in the center basket with our fund money, that would be great.
I also need Scott Puckett up front. Got a couple, Paul Harris.
I got one about 3 weeks ago.
Well, they mailed me another.
Okay.
Well, and again, good afternoon, Rotarian. Scott is one of our people who continue to pump it in and put the money in and get recognized. So we have another one for Scott Puckett. And for our past president, Eric Garden, we have a Paul Harris +2. So again, congratulations, Mr. Eric.
Thank you, sir.
And the final part of this announcement, it is August now, not July. So we're in our second month of our new year for foundation giving. And so we want to help President Todd meet our district goal, which hopefully he will tell us what our club goal is for this upcoming year, but let's keep the funds coming. Thank you.
Scott's was a Paul Harris +6. And that brings us to our sergeant today. It is none other than Mr. Bill Burton. Thank you.
Okay. Today is National What Day? It's either National, again, I like to do multiple choices generally. Let's call on a table. We'll wait for this table on another topic. Right over here. What day is today? Is it National Go-Kart Day? National Croquet Day? National Ice Cream Sundae Day, or National Relaxation Day? And if you get it right, everybody else pays $1. If you get it wrong, you pay $2. And you don't know. It's National
Relaxation Day.
Everybody else pays $1. Way to go. You got it. So with regard to the theme here, we have Memorial Hospital Security and Police Department here, right? All right, so we have 3 themes: relaxation, police, and healthcare. Okay, so staying with relaxation, the top way folks like to relax at work, we're gonna go right over here at this table. I'll give you a multiple choice. Listen to calming music, eat a snack, do stretches, meditation, fresh air, aromatherapy. You want those again? How do people most like to relax at work? Calming music, eat a snack, do stretches, meditation, fresh air, aromatherapy. What is your choice? And time is up. Say it. Time's up.
You got 2 answers,
What?
music and relaxation.
Wrong. Well, relaxation. How? Okay. No, you didn't get it.
Fresh air, I misspoke.
I'm sorry. You only get one chance. So $2 for each of you, and nice try. The next. Oh, what is the ideal length of a nap? Go to the back table right over here. The ideal length of a nap. Brian, your table, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 60 minutes, or 90 minutes? 10, 20, 60, or 90? You said 20? Way to go. Perfect. Nicely done. Everybody else put in $1. And a nap helps you with alertness, performance, mood. And if you go more than 30 minutes, it could hurt from your night's sleep coming forward. Where, Bob, you're in your table. Where in a city do people want to take a nap and not get noticed? The library, the furniture store, a park, a movie theater, a nap bar versus a bar. I've seen people asleep at a bar before. Work desk, the subway, or the airport. Where do people most want to take a nap? Where do people most want to take a nap in the city and not get noticed? Library, furniture store, park, movie theater, nap bar, work desk, subway, or airport. Your time's up. Or I have no idea, actually, so I'm putting in 20 bucks. What is staying on relaxation? Stu, your table. What is the best color of the bedroom for relaxation? Red, white, blue, yellow, white, or black. Red, white, blue, yellow, or black. You're exactly right. It's a safe, relaxing form. So everybody else, please put in $1. That does it for relaxation. I'm not done yet. We're going to move on now to, let's go to police department. May we please, sir, officer? Okay, and this table right here. And the point is, you're supposed to get this right. So you're supposed to get it right. So right here, Tom Shaw, this table, here we go. Are you nervous? Yeah, okay. If you get this right, everybody else pays $1. If you get it wrong, each of you put in $10. All right, ready? What is the highest ranking officer in the police department of the following? Officer, detective, corporal, sergeant, lieutenant, captain, deputy chief, assistant chief, or chief of police? What's the highest ranking officer? What is it? Chief of police, you got it. Way to go. So you don't pay a nickel. Everybody else, please put in $1. See, I knew you had this. The highest ranking, sure. Your table. The highest ranking, the largest police department in the United States is, in alphabetical order, Chicago, Dallas, Los Angeles, or New York.
Mayberry RFD.
You really don't want to do that, do you? No, New York. So put in a couple of bucks, please. What does Mr. Paul Harris Award recipient and table, what does SWAT stand for? SWAT, if one must spell it. Special Weapons Assault Team. Special Weapons and Tactics. Do you agree, sir? And tactics? So I'm so sorry. $2, please. Okay, that's enough on police, I'd say. Let's go on to medical. The highest paid hospital job without a degree. Mr. Story, your table, please. The highest, you're in private banking, you know this stuff. The highest paid hospital job without a degree. Is it ambulance paramedic, physical therapist aide, prosthetic technician, home health aide, or occupational therapist assistant? Home health aide. Occupational therapist assistant. So please put in $2. What is, Tony and table, the largest hospital in the country in terms of beds? Is it IU Health Methodist? Is it Cleveland Clinic? Is it the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center? Is it the New York Presbyterian Hospital? Is it the Methodist Hospital in San Antonio or the Orlando Regional Medical Center? IU, Cleveland, Orlando, San Antonio, New York, Pittsburgh. Where? Pittsburgh. Yeah, 8,000 beds. Paul, what is the most common and table blood type in the US? O positive, A positive, B positive, O negative. O positive, 38% of the population. That was fascinating. Okay, here we go. Have I hit all the tables? We gotta go around again. Anybody haven't yet? Oh, yeah. Kathy, back at you. Oh, you'll enjoy this. You'll enjoy, this is, I'm gonna say, up your alley. But the most common emergency room visit purpose, the most common emergency visit room purpose, alphabetical order, back pain, broken bones, cuts, foreign objects in body. Don't even know. Headaches or skin infections or upper respiratory. There's a lot to choose from, so I'm going to go through it again. Back pain, broken bones, cuts, headaches, foreign objects in body, skin infections, upper respiratory. It's a great guess. It's a great guess. Headaches of all things. Surprising, isn't it? Okay, team, a couple more. It's only 12:29. How many hospitals are there, anyone in this country? 6,000, 12,000, 24,000, or 48,000? Six? You're right. You got it right. Everybody else put in $1. And the medical procedure, this table right here, most performed by a police officer. Is it CPR, delivering a baby, defibrillator, or the choking Heimlich maneuver? CPR, deliver a baby, defibrillator, or Heimlich maneuver. CPR, you're exactly right. All right, so I'll put in another 20, and I think, unless I've got another one, and I probably don't. Okay, fine. Why are police uniforms blue? So what? No, everybody put in $1. You guessed wrong. It's to be camouflaged at night. And that is what I have, team. Thank you.
I don't know about you, but after that, I need a trip to the hospital. I would like to have Tom Schaaf come forward and introduce our guest for today.
Okay. He's gonna.
Bill, that was painful. Craig Whitfield has over 40 years experience in law enforcement and corporate security. He has a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from Ball State University. That's where my former wife went. Craig began his public service career with the Mishawaka Police Department. He served 25 years with MPD, 19 as an investigator. Craig specialized in major cases, including death investigations, robbery, homicide, burglary investigations. And while at Mishawaka PD, he served in each rank up into including assistant chief. After retiring from the Mishawaka Police Department, he accepted a position with the St. Joseph County Prosecutor's Office as an investigator with the newly created Cold Case Unit, a unit developed to investigate and bring closure to unsolved homicides. He helped set up and organize the newly created unit. After retiring from law enforcement, Craig transitioned into the private sector as Director of Safety and Security for Quality Dining, one of the nation's largest franchisee restaurant companies. He spent nearly a decade protecting company profits and assets. He specialized in bar fraud, theft investigations. Craig's an author. He wrote and published an investigative guidebook for restaurant and bar owners. The book, Guess Who's Eating Your Profits? I looked it up on Amazon last time. It's still for sale. In 2013, Craig was hired by Memorial Hospital to fill an open management position in the security department. Soon after, Indiana state law changed, allowing hospitals the option to create their own police department. Craig spearheaded and fast-tracked the research needed to develop the new department, and Memorial Hospital's police department was created in August of 2014. Memorial Hospital was the second hospital in the state to create a police department under the new law. Craig and I go back many years, and that's why I'm so pleased to bring him to you. Please welcome my friend, Chief Craig Whitfield.
Thank you, Tom, and thank you for the invite here today. I'm always excited to talk about healthcare policing because it's still so new in the state of Indiana. There were 28 states that had taken advantage of this type of opportunity before Indiana. But Indiana, we've been told that we do it right because we actually send officers to the police academy, and it's really specific to the types of policing that you see anywhere else in the city or the county. So Indiana healthcare has the same training as Southland PD, Mishawaka PD, the county, any police department around. And so it's fun to talk about. It's been a fun challenge. It's a nice way to end my career, I think. But it's a hybrid approach to healthcare security. And we have right now my department is staffed with 27 officers, 16 security officers, 11 police officers. They have 3 shifts, just like any other department. They have 3 shifts, captain and lieutenant on each shift. We have 2 law enforcement trainers that take care of all of our training needs, a fleet of 4 vehicles, and we respond to hundreds of calls every week. Most of them aren't overly serious, but we do have a lot of violence in healthcare, and we'll talk more about that a little bit down the road here. But we cover the Memorial Campus, Epworth Mental Health Facility, which is one of the most violent, I think, in the state, and Beacon Health and Fitness, Beacon Ranger Hospital, and I serve as a resource for all of the outlying facilities across the 3-county area. So in 2013, Senate Bill 582 passed, and I had just arrived at Memorial Hospital. And within 2 months, we were talking about, hey, what do you think about a police department in the healthcare system? And I said, yeah, it's going to be a lot of work, but we can do it. I think there's a lot of value in doing that because we're a city within a city, Memorial Hospital. And for example, all the penetrating wounds, shootings, stabbings, those all come to Memorial Hospital. And so we're that city within a city, and we've had, just last week, we had mutual combatants. One person shot another, and they're both in our ER, in the trauma base. And so you can imagine how that kind of, plays out in the end. It can get pretty dangerous, and which is one of the main reasons why we're there. But anyway, this Senate bill offered up the option for hospitals to create their own department. And so we started talking about it and figured that, with everything that's going on, like I said, with the lockdowns and the shootings and stabbings that are coming there, that we probably ought to look at taking advantage of it. And so it allows us to have an immediate police response, a trained police response, and to all sorts of situations, and some are very violent. And But it also raises the bar for the training within the department. It raises the bar for we're trained the very same way that South Bend PD, Mishawaka PD, any of the others are, at least at the academy level. And so it raises the bar, the training bar. The highlights of the law, it provides us with general police powers, including power of arrest. If we arrest somebody, we cuff them, put them in our car, and we take them to the county jail. It's convenient and easy access to policing, to law enforcement, getting someone into the justice system. So we can do it. We don't have to. So for example, before, if we had a problem, we would have to corral the person around. And so let's just say it's a trespasser. We didn't have any authority. I mean, we could throw them out, but if they really causing a lot of problems, we would have to contact South Bend PD. South Bend PD, the response time, it depends on how busy they are. And so it could be a 5 or 10 minute wait. And so by the time they arrive, maybe the person's gone or the situation has changed. And so literally nothing may happen. Maybe a report is filed. But now we have a quick response and we can take immediate police action. And a lot of times that ends up with somebody going to jail. But it also involves ongoing training for the officers that's provided by Indiana law enforcement instructors, which is a win all the way across the board. So our transition was about a little over a year. Once we started talking about it, I think we started talking about it in April or May of 2013. And by 1 year later, we were ready to pull the trigger, so to speak, and make the jump, take the leap, and create our own police department. And but it required a lot of research. It's one of those things. It's a bit counterintuitive. I've been a police officer all my adult life, so it's like you think, well, that's pretty simple. You just start a police department, but it's not that easy. And so, who do you ask? You ask somebody else that started a police department, because when I went to Mishawaka PD, they had been in a police department since I think 1904, so couldn't ask anybody there. And so it turns out that I had to do a lot of research and figure out all the steps that need to be taken, and I had to ask a lot of questions. I did 2 presentations after I did the research. I did 2 presentations to the Memorial Hospital Board of Directors, and the last one, then they approved the resolution to create a police department. And once I had the green light, then we had to figure out the badge, the patch, the uniforms, the officer screening process, the agency ID. I had to get an agency ID number, which that's not really something you ask for, but one time in the life of a police department. And so I wasn't even sure how to do that, so I had to do the research for that. But academy notifications, they have to know that we're going to be sending officers there. And so there's just a lot of research. What's it going to cost? How much is it going to cost us? Those types of questions, and then provide the answers. And then we're moving on. So in August of 2014, we became. I know I said I know Tom said it's the second hospital. We were the second hospital that actually where the board gave approval. So Tom Rhodes, he's the chief of police at Parkview Health. They always claim the #1 spot. And so their board approved it prior to Memorial by a few months. So we were always joking with one another. I said, yeah, but I was at your swearing in ceremony wearing the Memorial Hospital uniform and our patch and the badge. So you go ahead and tell your story the way you want it. But we always have fun with it. But so it's either first or second. We're happy with #2. It doesn't matter, but we've enjoyed the ride so far. But so the officer screening process is much like any other departments. We do a scenario-based training, video training. It's about 3 hours. The officer has to go watch videos, and they have to determine what type of response they would provide in the scenario that's offered up. There's a panel interview then for those that pass that test, or the panel interview, and we ask them all kind of different, again, a lot of different scenario-based questions and look for the right answers. They have to have a psych exam through a doctor. a comprehensive background check, fingerprints, and et cetera, et cetera. And so once that person has met all those, have gotten past all those levels, then it's time to go to the academy, perhaps. Well, COVID really wreaked havoc on my ability to send anybody to the academy. And so we went about a year and a half without being able to send anybody. And of course, we had a couple departures and things like that. So we're like any other department right now. It's hard to hang on to police officers, and they're moving around. But we were able to start sending people to the academy. We're still doing it again. We have another person getting ready to go. It's 320 hours of comprehensive training at the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy in Plainfield. In fact, when I became the chief there, I had to go back to the academy again because I'd been retired from Mishawaka PD just long enough that I had to go back to the academy. So I tried my best actually to get out of it, but they said, nope, you have to come back and we have to train you. So I'm sitting in the domestic violence class one day, and this lady from Indianapolis, she's doing a 2-hour class on domestic violence. And so I went up to her at break. I said, well, have you ever heard of Lisa Bianco? Does anybody here know who Lisa Bianco is? So I was the lead investigator on Lisa Bianco's case, murder case. And I said, well, do you know Lisa Bianco? She goes, oh yeah, we're going to talk about her next hour. And I said, well, so I was the lead investigator on the case. She gave me the weirdest look. And I said, well, so what are you doing here? I said, well, they're teaching me how to write a report. And so, but yeah, so I had to go back, and it was fun, but they were talking about some of the cases that I had, that I investigated while I was, since, well, I shouldn't say 1978, but anyway, so some of the cases I had investigated during that time, they were talking about while I was at the academy, which is kind of cool. But the training consisted of criminal law, firearms training, qualifications, emergency vehicle operations, physical tactics, a lot of things like that. And it just gives us a lot of, it gives us a good general background on policing that we need. Now, we're a tier 2 academy, which thank God we're tier 2 academy, because if we were tier 1, like when I graduated from the first time, I would be eligible. Tier 1 is eligible to go to any police department in the whole state. You can transfer from this one to that one to that one, and but tier 2 is specific to certain agencies like gaming, corrections, hospital police. They're specific to those agencies. So South Bend PD or Mishawaka PD can't steal any of my employees. So that makes it kind of nice, because it's hard. We don't want to become a training ground, and so that was actually, I think, part of what we actually when they started this law and went through, I think that was one of the considerations. So anyway, this is where it all begins right here on the left. That's all the way up by the podium on the left. That was my desk, and I don't know how W's end up sitting in front, but I was sitting right up front, and we spent I don't know if I should be getting any X's.
Sorry, Eric. No, it's computer. Oops, sorry.
Oops.
Won't let me minimize. I don't know why it won't let me do that. All right, Eric, you're in charge.
Sorry, Kurt, you're fine. All right. Love that people try the same thing over and over again.
Technical difficulty.
We might just have to do this.
Yeah.
I think everybody gets the idea.
We'll make it work. All right.
Hold on, advance.
There we go.
That'll work.
Okay, all right. So anyway, so I spent like 20 some weeks of my life in this building, and
Sorry again.
you're fine.
One day, someday. Back to this. Now we're words with that.
All right, there we go. So they're getting ready to spend $70 million on this building and add another dormitory and things like that. And Indiana actually has one of the more unique academies in the United States, because they actually go there and they spend, 10, 15, 20 weeks there, and not all states are doing that anymore. So but it's like walking back in time when I went in there the second time. But anyway, so the benefits realized for Memorial Hospital, and any hospital for that matter, but it's an innovative approach to hospital security and safety. And so we can provide a trained police response, for upset customers, the mother baby unit. You'd be surprised, the mother baby unit seems to be one of those areas where you would think that it'll be all happy and warm and fuzzy, and it's not like that. Not always. Drug seekers, the pharmacy is a sensitive area, psychiatric patients, domestic violence, trespassers, which is about half of our arrests. Personal protection order enforcement, we have, employees and or visitors that have a personal protection order on somebody, and we help them be safe, and just random acts of violence. But Memorial Hospital, our response is going to be a lot quicker than, say, South Bend PD. South Bend PD gets a call to Memorial Hospital, and they say, hey, make the heart and vascular, 3rd floor, man with a gun. Okay, how long is it going to take him to get there? And where's heart and vascular? Yeah, where is that? And which elevator do you use? Oh, you have to use the H elevator. And you don't park in the ER, you have to park all the way at the other end of the building, which you can't get in. So with us, it's like 90 seconds. So we have a 90-second response time versus the 5 to 10 minutes it might take outside police to respond to the very same call. It allows us to take that proactive approach to, in increasing, it's like losing my word right there, but anyway, you see the increasing violence in today's society, and it gives us a proactive approach to take care of that. And but did you know that workplace violence in healthcare is the #1 industry for workplace violence? Healthcare is. Did you know that? And so I read something the other day where 70% of all injuries in workplace violence is in healthcare. And so it's not surprising to know that we actually make a significant number of arrests on people for battery to a healthcare worker, which is a felony, intimidation, domestic violence, and things like that. And so we probably make anywhere from 15 to 20 up to one year we were exceptionally busy, but I think we were up to 70 arrests. And but we average about 40 or 50 arrests a year. And by ELKR, South Bend PD, Mishawaka standard, that's a pretty low number. But I think most people are kind of shocked that really you make that many arrests. And well, yeah, we do. At least half of those are trespass. So trespassers, they account for a lot of the other things that go on in a hospital, like thefts and disturbances and things like that. The feeling of being unsafe when someone sees that they clearly don't belong there and they're allowed to roam the hospital, which we don't allow. So those are all things that help us create that feeling of safety at Memorial Hospital. But so having our own police department provides us with collaborative training opportunities with outside law enforcement. I attend a weekly meeting at the South Bend PD it's a law enforcement executive strategic meeting every week on Thursday, and we all talk about the criminals running in the community, and we're one of the partners because a lot of the cases that South Bend PD is investigating, they had to come to us for video, for copies of our video and things like that that we can help them with their homicide or their shooting cases. This provides us also with the extensive ILEA, Indiana Law Enforcement Academy video training catalog, 600 videos. We owe it to our, officers, to our patients, guests, and staff to provide the best training that we can possibly get. And last year we had 600 hours of training, but we also train our security officers the very same way that we train our police officers. So there's a benefit that way. So we've had quite a few successes at the academy. One of our officers was received the Top Gun Award, best shooting for the whole week. 2 officers received the Academic Achievement Award. They had the best, best score in the class for the whole 8 weeks. In 2019, I'm also a member of the Indiana Association of Healthcare Security and Safety. It's a mouthful, but they're the only healthcare security specific organization in the United States, actually in the world. And so I'm a member of that, and they have a program there where it's a certification program for law enforcement and for security, it's based on training, the amount of training that you provide to the officers, that if makes yourself eligible for, or makes the department eligible for program and distinctions, award status. So we are the first hospital in the state of Indiana to become a program of distinction. And there's only about 50 hospital departments in the whole country and Canada that have that distinction. And I'm real proud of my officers that they put forth the effort to do that, because each one had to get their own certification. I had to get the administrative certification. But so we're all certified through the IAHSS. But we're always looking for new ways to innovate and bring more value to Memorial Hospital and those that are patients there and that work there. But we just keep looking ahead and trying to reach for the best thing that brings more value from our department to the hospital. And I think that might be the last slide, and it was. So what questions do you have about all that? Yeah.
Seems like you'd be saving the local law enforcement agencies a lot of money, so I wonder if you get some funding from them.
The question is, do we get funding since we're saving so much money from South Bend PD? I wish we were, but we don't. But I will tell you this, they do appreciate the fact that we've taken a fair amount of work off their plate. As I said before, we're a city within a city, basically, and it keeps them from having to respond to the hospital much. But when we do call them, they come in multiples because they know that we need help. And so we have a very good partnership with South Bend Police Department. Yeah. Ladies first.
With the amount of cases that are coming against hospital workers or healthcare workers, do you guys do anything to help equip them with like personal safety or like self-defense techniques? Do you hold workshops or anything for them?
So yeah, the question is how much training do we provide to the associates to help them combat the healthcare violence? So I do all the training for special situation response in the hospital. That includes active shooter, just how to defend yourself in situations like that. So we do a lot of like Q&A. That seems to be the best approach for the staff. We don't actually teach the hands-on portion of it, but we do provide a lot of advice and training to help them know how to respond in situations. Yeah. I think.
Do you have the availability or the inclination to go to any of the other health facilities if they were to require assistance from a police officer? Like, would you go to a Green Cross, Hotel Harmony, or ELKR clinic? I mean, would they ever engage you as a police board?
So the question is our jurisdiction wide enough that we could go elsewhere and provide police services? I can go to by law, I can go to any beacon location and still have my police authorities. Now, I have gone to, we had a problem, and I contacted my friend Tom Shaw to help us with it. We had a person that was breaking into a shed down on Ireland Road. And so we needed to alarm it, but we ended up going down to the, prior to enlisting Tom's help, we were able to arrest the guy who had broken into the shed and was sleeping. So we can do that, but it's typically by invite. We wouldn't venture outside Beacon House system though. Yeah, Dave.
Obviously, there was a need. That's why this was created. When you look at what's going on more recently, there seems to be a similar type of need in schools. You want to feel safe at the hospitals, so you're there. Do you see this translating in any way, shape, or form?
Translating from schools.
Well, what you do there to, like a school district adopted something similar.
So you're asking me, is there a possibility that maybe the schools can learn something of what hospitals are doing when it comes to security?
Well, meaning,
Yeah.
creating their own force.
Yeah, so some schools are doing that. I mean, I think Concord, Tom, we were talking about that. The Concord Community Schools, they have their own police officer. They have their own police department now. So they're allowed to do that. And so I think there certainly is value in having that. You get to provide the service based on what the community standards might be, which would be in the healthcare system for us. We have Beacon Health System has core values of trust, respect, integrity, and compassion. And so we're all bound by those core values at Memorial and Beacon. And so when we're providing police services to Beacon Health System, we are using those values. So we arrest people in the nicest way that we can. So yeah, and we try to anyway. So, but yeah, so it's good because it really does. It kind of helps you fit into your into the culture that you have there. And in a school, it's the same thing in a school. I'm kind of rambling a little bit, but yeah, it fits, and I think it allows the organization then to provide a very good service based on their needs without a lot of extra fluff. Yeah.
I assume you also have policemen here at the ELKR Aug. What's the difference between a police officer and a security officer?
So the question is, what's the difference between a police officer and security officer? We do not have police officers at ELKR General, but I would say this. This phrase I use all the time is I would tell you that police is who we are, but security is what we do. And so basically, my police officers are security officers with extra tools on their belt. The first thing that we're doing is the security and safety of the building. And in fact, if you think about it, that's what a regular police department does too. They're just basically they're keeping everybody safe and secure, right? So, and then when somebody forces the issue, makes them do their job, then they have to arrest somebody. But police is who we are, security is what we do. The main difference is just the amount of authority that they have. We've had situations before where people will, they'll push the envelope because they know it's a security officer. They know it's a security officer and they can't go to jail by, talking to them a certain way or treating them a certain way or whatever the case may be. They just know, they know where the outer edges of the envelope are. But then when police show up, a lot of things change. And one of those things is if you tell them something, then they comply. And so, or not, and then they get a ride, a free ride. So, but yeah, that's the main thing. It's just truly, it's just the extra tools on the belt. Yeah.
How does your response change for a mental health issue versus violence?
How does our response change to that? So we recognize having a mental health facility. Police officers are all required now to received that training too on mental health response. So, but my officers are very good at it. They see it for what it is. They know what it is, and they know all the de-escalation techniques. They know how to deal with these folks, and they know they're in crisis, and so they do what they need to do to make sure that the person is treated with compassion, you know, and respect, and we get them the help that they need. Now, if you have someone who is, you can tell the difference when they're not really you can just tell the difference when they're not having a mental crisis or a behavioral crisis. They may end up going to jail, but typically we wouldn't arrest patient number one. We wouldn't do that, but someone like a visitor who's just, you know, acting out, they may very well go to jail. Did that answer your question?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Since the merger of equals, where EGH, what is the reason EGH does not have?
The question is, why does EGH not have police officers? I would have to defer to them on that, but I know that we've had conversations before, and I know that they feel like right now that that's not something they need or want. So, yeah.
What is your protocol in the ER when you have a child abuse case or a sexual assault case?
The protocol for a child abuse case or sexual assault case, we have trained nurses that know how to, they're bound by certain legal requirements to handle it a certain way. And the nurses are all certified that way. That does not necessarily involve Memorial Hospital Police Department because it happened elsewhere and they just came to the hospital. So the nursing typically the nurses are going to handle most of that interaction with the DCS or something like the other agencies that bring them in to do the investigation.
Even when the abuser brings the child?
Well, now, so we're going to intervene at that point, yes. So if the abuser's there, if the abuser's there and they're suspected of being the abuser at that time, yes, absolutely, we're going to be involved in that. Absolutely, yes. Okay, all right, well, thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
We have a couple of passes here for you for the well field. If you would like, you can get a hold of Eric. He'll give you a personal tour.
Very good, thank you.
All right.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
I hope you all have a good week. Meeting adjourned.